I joined the Central Intelligence Agency in the mid-1970s, working on the Middle East as an analyst. In November 1978, I was reassigned from the countries I was working on to Iran. That reflected the fact that the Iranian Revolution had come as a sudden, unexpected, and much unwelcomed earthquake in American policy in the Middle East. And I think it's safe to say that American policy in the Middle East is still largely reacting to the Iranian Revolution of 1978. We're still trying to come to grips with a sea change in a relationship with a country which had been a very, very close ally to a country which has become a hostile entity.
There was no one single cause of the Iranian Revolution. There were a number of different factors that helped bring about a context in which a very powerful and long-standing ally of the United States collapsed before the eyes of Washington in rapid succession. The main driver was a political one, the sense on the part of many Iranians that the Shah had begun to accumulate power in his own hands in such a way that had precluded any real participation of the traditional political elites in shaping political outcomes in Iran.
The Iranian Revolution was driven by a number of things, but I think the most important was economic shock. Iran in the 1970s was an old society rapidly becoming a new society thanks to the huge increase in oil prices. And then there was a cut in the price of oil, and that led to expectations being dashed very quickly. The net effect of that was that a lot of unrest that was brewing under the surface suddenly boiled over.
Well, we persistently have misread Iran. We were caught by surprise in 1979, even though the intelligence community was well aware of a number of factors that helped contribute to the mobilization and to the alienation from the monarchy. Policymakers simply had very little idea how weak the Shah was and how strong and robust the opposition had become. And we've consistently misperceived Iranian politics ever since then. There's been a considerable degree of evolution in Iran's domestic politics and in its foreign policy since the revolution itself. And yet there's still much that remains, I think, very much caught up in the revolutionary idealism, in the revolutionary ideology of anti-Americanism, of hostility toward the West, of distrust of great power machinations, and fundamentally of a sense that Iran and the Islamic Republic is alone in the world.
Iran is a baffling country for the United States and becomes more so over time. We don't have an embassy in Tehran. We haven't had an embassy, functioning embassy in Tehran since our embassy was taken over by the students creating the hostage crisis. What that means is there's nobody in the U.S. government now with hands-on experience living in Iran.
I have, over the course of my own 20 or 25-year career of watching Iran, had periods of great hope that, in fact, Iran was moving toward a more moderate future. Most of the Iranian population was born since the revolution. They're highly educated, highly literate, and deeply desire to be engaged with the rest of the world. But fundamentally, the structure of power in the Islamic Republic is weighted toward authoritarianism. And fundamentally, as long as that remains the case, it will be difficult for the Iranian people to move their own government in the direction of a more responsible and more constructive player in the regional community as well as at home.